Hello friends, this is Dorie with Forever Quilting. I'm getting ready to work on this cute table runner. It's got a poinsettia in the middle, some Christmassy fabric by Tim Holtz, and I'm getting ready to quilt it on the long arm and just thought I would share with you a little bit of my process. So I've already stitched in the ditch around the two borders here and cut my thread because I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing yet. I had started off with some celery glide thread and kind of thought I would be switching to a cream thread for the middle, but I think I'm going to stick with the celery. It blends well with so many things, and I think it'll be fun if the little bit of green color shows up in the quilting anyway. So we're going to go with that. So with that in mind, I'm trying to consider what to quilt on here. I'm trying to keep it simple, although that's really hard for me to do. I always seem to go a little bit overboard, but I think I'm just going to start with the block. And there's just two blocks, they're identical, and I've determined that I want to put some kind of a grid in this square unit here. And again, trying to keep it simple. I'm going to quilt part of it and then see, oh, do I need more quilting? And then I might add some more. But this fabric is super busy. So because of that, if I try to use one of my stencils and mark it with my powder, like I usually do, it really won't show. You know, it's just too much fabric, too much print in the fabric. So I could use a blue pen or a purple pen, ideally a purple, because all I need is just a couple of registration marks. But again, too busy of fabric. I could use the blue water-soluble pen, but then again, I'd have to soak the quilt, and I really am not in the mood to do that. This is a little Christmas table runner, and I just want to use it without having to wash it. So I want to show you guys that you can do this style of quilting without marking. So all I've done here is put some pins in along the ditch where I want my crosshatch or my square to hit the ditch. So let me put this back in here again and kind of see how it's going to line up. Let's see, so we're going to go like point to point. So something like that, where we're getting this square right here. That's the line I want. So we've already got a line going down the middle. So I'm going to keep that one with the piecing. But all I need is this one right here. So if I put a pin at the ditch on all these points, then I can know where to line up my ruler in order to create that straight line there. So that's what I've done. You can either use a stencil like this, or you can use a ruler and just go, okay, this is a 4-inch block, so I'm going to divide the block into 2 inches and put my pen here and my pen here, turn the ruler, and do the same thing going the other direction. So that's what I've already done in all of these blocks. Now let's talk a little bit about what the design is that I plan to do. So I'm going to get out my plastic. This is just a sheet of plastic that's, I think it's about 20 by 24 inches. So I like to put that over my quilt. I don't like to draw on pictures. I like to draw over the actual quilt. So I put the plastic over it. This way I got a life-size image here to try to figure out how dense do I want the quilting. Okay. And I'm sorry if there's a little bit of glare there. That kind of happens when we're trying to film this because it is plastic. The light really does reflect off of it. But so, like I said, my plan is to stitch in the ditch here along this line, going all the way around. And I'm going to do the opposite also. So I'm going to come around here. So basically, I've got a continuous path here going all the way around. And then I've got another continuous path going through the middle of these triangles, all the way to this end, in the ditch, and all the way back. So that is one continuous path. I know in the middle I'm going to put a flower. So I'll probably do some kind of a poinsettia flower. So it's kind of got some really wrinkly leaves coming out. So I have to purposely kind of make those really wavy. Okay, and then in here, let's see, in these little green blocks, I think I'm going to put some little brackets. But I got to do it twice so we make sure we're continuous. And I'm going to put a little twig up coming out to fill this space. So maybe something like this. Okay, so we'll do that. And a little square. We might just, again, repeat the design that we've already got. So we might just put a bracket there and one in here. And then one over here. So kind of get the idea of it. So bracket there. Okay, so we might have to do another bracket just to get it continuous. Remember, when you're drawing this out, it doesn't have to be beautiful. We're just getting the idea of what the path is going to be. Now, in this area here, where we've got the pins marking our points right here, I'm going to stitch a square. And that gets me 4 squares and then all these triangles around. So my decision I'm going to have to make is, am I going to fill something in here? Do I want to put some brackets in here and just fill that space? Or you can do curves if you want to. That's fine too. So a curve would just be going from one intersection to the other, just doing a curve. You can easily do that also. I'm doing the brackets because they're pointy, and my design here is pointy. The poinsettia has lots of points on it, so I'm just kind of keeping with that theme. Okay, that will get me all the way around the block where everything connects. Now I have not done this ditch right along here, so this is where I'll start, is stitching in the ditch on this line and then coming into the block and filling it in. I'll travel along the poinsettia, and this has not been appliqued down, so I'm going to do that with the long arm. Fill in the background, work my way all the way over to this other block, stitch in the ditch down here, and then fill in the other block the same way. So that's my plan. I hope you'll follow along and watch how it quilts out.